Good morning, students. Welcome you all after your first term examination. I hope you all have given your exam very well. Now, after your exam, we will now gonna start our new chapter, that is reproduction in animals. Okay. So the topics which we are going to cover in this chapter are introduction, modes of reproduction, sexual reproduction, in which we talk about male reproductive organs, female reproductive organs, fertilization and embryo development. Then asexual reproduction, where we are going to talk about binary fission and budding. Okay, so here we are going to see how different animals reproduce. Okay. Now we see a huge variety of organism around us. We talk about insects, animals, plants, and have you ever observed that the elephant they always give birth to a baby elephant, and an elephant give not birth to a fish. Similarly, a fish did not give birth to a cat. So each of the organisms give birth to their young ones, which are very similar to them. So the basic features look similar to in both of them. So how these new organisms being formed? So that process is called reproduction. So it is basically the process by which a living organism gives birth to their young ones, or to produce their young ones. Now, because of reproduction, we actually do not have time where a particular group of organism end. Okay, so the organism keep on continuing generation after generation. For example, if you considered some 100 years ago, so maybe that time our ancestor may be live. Okay, but we were not there. After a couple of years, our grandparents born, and after a couple of years then our parents are born, and then we are born. So it's like living organisms stable, and they live their life where they grow, they found food, they give birth to their young ones, and then they grow old, and then they die. Okay, so it is the same size thing which is continuing generation after generation. So here in this lesson, we will see is how these organisms reproduce. We will look at the process of reproduction and the process exactly take place which give birth to their young ones. Okay. Now, now we start from the basic. That is, what is reproduction? Re means, now wherever the word re is which means again, wherever it is something re means again. So for example, rewrite means you have to write it again. Rewind means you have to start it again, rewind it back. Okay, so reproduction means to produce something, for formation of something. So reproduction means to produce the same organism again. Okay, literally this is what means the process by which living organism produce new organism similar to themselves. That is important. So since they have reproducing which is over and over again, but of the similar characteristics, so that is called reproduction. So as I have given you example, that elephant give birth to a baby elephant. For example, human being always given to a birth to a human being. So babies always resemble their parents. Okay, baby resembles his mother. Their characteristic, their face is similar to that of her mother, or her father, or his mother or father. Okay. So when I say similar means human baby, it has two eyes, two ears, one nose, and a similar kind of body structure which their parents have. Okay, and that is why we always distinguish one person from one another. Okay, no two person looks identical. You talk about rabbit, fishes, polar bear. So they all are give birth to their young ones, and this process is called reproduction. Now the question is, why is reproduction necessary? What would happen if there is so much organism not giving birth to their young ones? You might ask that reproduction is necessary for the survival of living organism. For example, if you take an example of a human being, if our body does not perform the process of digestion, we might die because food is not going to digest. Okay, so how we get our energy? Okay, so if our body if our body is not carrying out reproduction, we still survive. So reproduction is not necessary for the survival of a particular organism, but it is required for the survival of that entire species. So if we want to retain that particular species, the reproduction has to be necessary. Okay, that is why we need to say that all human beings are if all human beings are stopped reproducing, no babies are formed. There is this species cycle of birth and death. So birth, growth, and then death. So this cycle will retain only due to reproduction. Okay. So if you want to retain this species, so the reproduction has to be take place, because without reproduction the entire species would become extinct. The next important thing is the transmission of character from one generation to the next. So you would have often observed that many of you look similar to their father, similar to their grandfather. So why there is a similarity between two of you? This is due to the transmission of characteristics from one generation to next generation. Okay, and how this transmission of characteristics happens? This transmission happens as a part of the process of reproduction. Because due to reproduction, what happens is cells which carry the particular genes. In the last lesson we talked about genes. The genes are the unit of inheritance. It contains DNA. DNA is the genetic material. So the characteristics get transmitted from one generation to another through DNA. And how the DNA it can transfer from one generation to another during reproduction. Okay, so for example, in case of human being, a baby has born, and baby remain inside in a mother's body for 9 months. Okay, where it does develop from a small egg to a baby, and then it is delivered outside. So they bring this process. So that egg contains certain genes which has been inherited from his father, and then it gets and it has got trait from both the parents, and in fact they have new trait as well. So this transmission of characteristic is possible due to reproduction, because if there is no reproduction, then there will be no concept of children looking similar to their parents. So this inheritance is because of only reproduction. Now the third thing is variation lead to the origin of new species. Now just now I said we all look similar. We have certain similarities to our parents. We also have some new traits which is not similar to our parent. For example, sometime a child has a blue eyes, but the parents do not have a new eyes. But this blue color eyes is because of the new trait present in him. Okay, so this kind of changes, this kind of new trait which we have seen, they are called variation. These variation can even give rise to a new species, because small changes can all together to a new organism also altogether, and that is where we talk about evolution or of a new species. So this inheritance or variation, it is all possible because of reproduction. Because if there is no reproduction, there is no inheritance, and there will be no variation at all. So I think for now it is clear what is reproduction, even though it is not required for the survival of organism, but it is extremely important for the survival of an entire species over a long period of time. Now let us talk about the types of reproduction. What are the various ways by which organism can reproduce? Now reproduction is a really of two types, that is asexual and sexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction is that type of reproduction where no sex is involved. That means there is no concept of male and female. So for this you do not need one male and female, you just need one organism, then they give birth to a new organism. It is very simple concept. In asexual reproduction you do not need two organisms at all. One organism give birth to their next generation. It is independent of any gender that organism give birth to a new organism. So we can also say that only one parent is important. Just have one parent. Okay. So this type of reproduction is also mainly seen in simple organisms. For example, amoeba, where you see amoeba is a unicellular organism. So the mode of reproduction which they follow is asexual, in which they form a new organism. So that is asexual reproduction. Second one is sexual reproduction, where a sex is involved. So here you have two parents. You actually need one male and one female. These two fuse together to give new organism. So for example, in our human beings, there is a one father and one mother. Mother is nothing but a female, father is nothing but a male, and both of them cooperation is required, only then kids will be born. And that is why kids having similarity to both the parents. Now sometimes some might have more similarity to their father and some might have more similarity to their mother. That is fine, but there are possibility that they have similarity from both the parents. So here two parents will be involved. So now let us quickly understand both of them. So asexual reproduction, as I said, single parent is needed to produce the new organism. So here there is no requirement of one male and one female, and the new organism which is being reproduced is produced from only one parent. And the new organism which are being produced, they are mostly referred as daughter organism. The term daughter is used, and these daughters are exactly identical to their parents. So that is another important thing, that in asexual reproduction the new organism is exactly same as their parents. Okay, exactly identical to their parents in asexual reproduction. Now it is a primitive mode of reproduction. Primitive means it was more ancient. So in this we do not have any scope of variation. There is no variation, because variation happen only when there is a daughter organism has some characters, traits which are new, which are different from their parents. And here the daughter is exactly the same as their parents. So there is no variation. This is more common in lower plant and animals. For example, amoeba, euglena, bacteria, hydra. Okay, these are some examples of asexual reproduction. Next is sexual reproduction. So here two parents are involved. So two parents required in this. Hair fusion between male and female give rise to a new organism, or you can say the fusion between male and female gamete give rise to the new organism. So now what do you mean by gamete? Gamete is nothing but a sex cell. All of you know the cell? Sex cell which help, these are specialized cells which help in reproduction. So what happens in sexual reproduction? There is one male and one female. The male will release a sex cell or a male gamete, and the female contribute a female sex cell or a female gamete, and the female and male gamete, they fuse together to form a new organism or new cell, and that new cell will gradually grow with prohibited cell division, and that's how give rise to a new organism. So that's how it is. So male will contribute the male sex cell, female will contribute the female sex cell, and both of these sex cells fuse together, they perform a new cell. That is that new cell is known as they perform multicellular structure, and on time it become a human being, a body, full structure or a human being. Now here the daughter cell is not exactly identical to their parents. Okay, because there are two sex cells are involved, as well as there are variation also. So there, in this case, variation exists. Some new traits will be seen, because the daughter will be genetically different from their parents. Some traits may be similar to their parents. Some traits might not be similar to their parents. Some are new as well. Okay. So this mode of reproduction is comparatively slower. It is a slower mode of reproduction compared to asexual reproduction, because in asexual the process happens really fast, but it takes a lot. But in asexual reproduction, this reproduction takes a lot of time. Sexual reproduction is generally seen in higher animals. For example, the various animals which we've seen around us reproduce sexually. For example, cows, buffaloes, cats, dogs, elephants, human beings. So they all reproduce sexually. Okay. So it is more common in multicellular animals. And asexual reproduction is most common in lower plants and animals, which are mostly unicellular organism. Okay. So now I hope you all have understand the concept of sexual and asexual reproduction. Now we will discuss about asexual reproduction in detail, but in next class. Okay. I think this is enough for today. So if you have any confusion regarding any topic, you can ask me in your WhatsApp group. Thank you, class.